Welcome to the Aidron Duckworth Museum here in Meriden, New Hampshire. The unique works of this artist have inspired many people and generations since he passed, and this museum continues to host local artists. We have a guest right now who you're going to see when you come to the Duckworth. This is the administrator, Mary Jane Morse, but she's also an artist in her own right. She's going to tell us about her involvement here and what inspires her to do her own work. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Now, you're the administrator here, and there's a lot going on. Tell us kind of like what's on your plate.
What's on my plate when I work here?
Yes.
A lot, because I only work 4 hours a week here. So I cram in anything that Grace needs help with. I work with the guest artists, organizing them and making sure they meet all our needs and we meet all their needs, and just the events that we hold here, I help Grace organize, and I'm really good at organizing.
But that's a unique perspective. A lot of times artists, when they deal with galleries, they don't get to deal with other artists. They usually deal with, you know, either business people or things like that who have a slightly different perspective on the artwork. But artist to artist working on a showing or an exhibition is definitely a little bit more of a welcome experience.
And I understand what they're going through, and so it works.
And one of the things I do love about the museum is the myriad of different things that you get to see, from the current exhibitions to Mr. Duckworth's range of pieces that are here, all in their natural setting, which is really wonderful to be able to walk in and kind of get inside his mind.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part here?
I really enjoy looking at his work weekly, and I just enjoy getting things done here and pushing forward the museum. And I think it's a gem, too, of the Upper Valley. I grew up here, and so it's good for me to be a part of an artistic place, and I just think it's a great place, and Grace has done a wonderful job.
She has, with your help.
Found it and keep it going.
Now, you're an artist in your own right, and you deal with a myriad of styles, which is similar to Aidron Duckworth. He experimented with different things.
Yep.
Right now you have different things you sort of progressed from in your style. Can you tell us a little bit about where you've come from and where you're going? Well,
I actually studied with Aidron when I first started out getting back into my art about 26 years ago. And he taught me a really important quality that I think is in my work, is how to create depth on a flat surface. And I'm forever grateful for learning that from him and the importance of that. And a lot of my art, people often say that, you know, I feel like I'm being pulled in, and I think it's that quality that Aidron taught me to create something that looks almost three-dimensional on a flat surface that I did. And I was starting with, when I was studying with him, I was painting flowers in pastel. And then after that, I did portraits in oil. I was also doing portraits at the time that I studied with Aidron as well, in pencil. And he helped me with those too. And especially, I remember him describing, you know, what's the brightest spot on the face? It's not the gleam in the eye or the teeth, really. It's the tip of the nose, and that's what you want. That's how you get a three-dimensional look with a portrait, or with anything. You just really look at it.
Look at the light.
Where's the light, and you really have to see what you're creating. Then after the portraits, I did them in oil as well. I did a few commissions, but mostly I did portraits just because I enjoy painting the human face. And then I went to figurative drawing, and then I started, I decided to go back to school and got my MFA. And that got me out of, I used to paint real representationally, but when I was studying for my MFA, I started to get into my head more, and I always struggled with painting representationally, and thought, there's something missing. I don't know what it is, but there's something missing by painting that way for me. And I found out that what was missing was I needed to stop painting what I was looking at and just, I'd acquired skills over the years and just make marks with charcoal on paper.
And your work has such a wide range of wonderful styles. I want to thank you for coming on and telling us firsthand what Aidron Duckworth was like and how he inspired you. Wish you the best of luck on your own works. And if you come by the Duckworth, make sure you say hello to Mary Jane. And if you think you might be interested in one of her works, make sure you contact her at her email address.